Hi there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. So, new anime season. By the time you watch this, or rather by the time I get this posted, the season's probably over. Hell, as I record this, we're several weeks into the new season, so... But anyway, any time is a good time for new anime. And today, I will be watching the very first episode of My Dress-Up Darling. One of my favorite things to do in video games is play dress-up and punch things in the face. If there are multiple costumes available, I am a happy little clam. So, this show, so far as I know, is about... There's this guy in high school, because it's about high school kids, like all anime, except the ones that aren't. There's this high school kid who likes making little dolls, likes making little dresses for his dolls, but he knows nothing about fashion. And then he finds out that one of his friends at school is big into cosplay, so I'm not sure if he uses her fashion sense to figure out what to make for his dolls, and in exchange he has to make her cosplay outfits or something. But hey, dress up and something new to watch. Show description. Wakana Goji is a high school boy. High school boy who wants to become a kashirashi. I don't know what a kashirashi is. Maybe it's a person who makes those dolls? A master... Okay, it literally, the very next words in the sentence tells me exactly what that is. Kashirashi, a master craftsman who makes traditional Japanese Hina dolls. There we go. Though he's gung-ho about the craft, he knows nothing about the latest trends and has a hard time fitting in with this class. The popular kids, especially one girl, Marin Kitagawa, seem like they live in a completely different world. That all changes one day when she shares an unexpected secret with him, and their completely different worlds collide. And I just spit. Maybe I should get some water. I'm looking at the show poster. Okay, well, I'm assuming one of them is the girl who likes... I'm guessing the secret is she likes cosplay, although that's not a huge secret. Lots of people like cosplay. I'm guessing... So we've got a girl in a black dress in front of a mirror who's reflecting a different girl. So... But this is about a guy who makes dolls who befriends a cosplay girl. So who's the other girl? Well, maybe I should watch the show and find out. Oh my. My. So there are a lot of problems with this show that... Let me rephrase that. This show does a few things that, while they may work for some, don't work for me, and kind of derail my enjoyment. If you saw my debut review for All of Us Are Dead, I spent a portion of that review criticizing the really awful, ugly pants that are the men's school uniform pants. Oh, they're awful. So it goes with the school uniform pants in My Dress-Up Darling. Is this something that's happening in Korea and Japan? Do you guys need help? Because that's child abuse. You should not be making anyone wear those pants. Those are terrible. I'd show you a picture, but um, I can't. I can't screen capture the video player. I'm sure I could figure out a way to do it, but copying the screen, taking a capture through my streaming software, Snagit type utilities, it just captures black. So I would love to show you. I looked at IMDb, none of the photos show off the pants, and I did a quick image search, and it's all from the manga. So trust me, that they're really, really ugly. And if those countries have, if those are accurate to the actual pants that the kids have to wear in, Korea and Japan, and there's like an epidemic of depressed children, that might be why. Stop making them wear really ugly pants, and maybe your kids will be happier. Anyway, show. So, it seems like it's an excuse just to show a pretty girl in her underwear. Everything seems like it's kind of secondary to that, which, fine, but I'm boring, so that's not particularly of interest to me. Oh, and the show poster, the gal in the black is the blonde-haired gal's favorite anime character, I guess, and that's who she wants to cosplay as. Okay. Cool. Kind of an odd concept for this show's poster, but okay. You'd think like the Hina dolls or the guy would feature on the show poster? No. Maybe because he doesn't have boobs. That's why he didn't make the cut for the poster, because priorities, we see. So we have this kid who's into his family runs a Hina doll shop. So he's been making these things since he was young, and he excels at making the clothes. Except he keeps gashing his damn fingers open on scissors. He itai. And Grandpa's like, what happened? I'm like, he just said a quick itai. I mean, that's just ouch. Not like, oh god. It's like, oh, I cut my finger, and the camera pans to the scissors, and one of the blades is covered in blood, like he just stabbed himself in the throat. Literally dripping. I'm like, holy crap, dude, what did you just do? Did you have your finger in the middle of the shears or something? And he comes in, here, slap a Band-Aid. You're going to need to do more than a Band-Aid if you're bleeding that much out of your fingertip. That's slicing it open. Put some disinfectant on it, at least. I don't know how well the stitches are going to hold in finger pads, but wow, you klutz. He's got 3 bandaged fingers. It's like, the show's trying to, he's really good at the clothes. And he doesn't appear to be. No, he's good at clothes. He's bad at scissors. Anyway, so he works with his grandfather, because apparently his grandmother and his parents are dead. I'm assuming that's who the people in the pictures of the people in the shrine, I'm assuming that's grandma and mom and dad. Man, anime is not nice to family members. Is that you see, I only know about Japan due to what I see in anime. And I'm like, oh my god, are most high school kids' parents dead? Or working in America? Because that seems to be the case all the time. Anyway, so he works at a Hina doll shop. He's not really great at painting the faces, but at least not as good as his grandfather, who's been doing it for half a century. But he's good at making clothes. And he likes it. It's fun. But some girl in his youth called him a creepy dork. And so I guess ever since he's been a bit gun-shy about sharing his passion or his hobbies with anyone, feeling like they'd make fun of him. A guy playing with dolls and other sexist garbage. Which, I'm sure there would be people who do that, but I don't know if he's ever tried. So he keeps to himself. He has no friends. And I would be sympathetic, except he's really, really creepy about his dolls. Like, really creepy. Like, every time he looks at his the doll head, the little Hina doll head, he like, it's like, dude. He's like, oh, you're so beautiful. He's blushing across his cheek. He's like starting to drool. I'm like, oh, dude. Okay, I have no problem that you enjoy making Hina dolls. That is cool. I can't sew for crap. I can sew on buttons, and I could, like, hem my pants if I really needed to. That's about it. That's about as far as my sewing skills go. So kudos on you if you can actually follow a pattern and stitch clothing together. Because it's not something I do well. Although I can knit. Barely. Like I can knit like square fabric. I can't like make a sweater or anything, and crochet's beyond me. But anyway, it's not important. Never even tried macrame. But yeah, you're being real creepy about the dolls, dude. I'm kind of having trouble connecting with you as a character. Also, he's another one of those gall darn anime protagonist males who's just hopelessly pathetic. I mean, I understand social anxiety. I understand not feeling like you fit in, but at some point, a character passes a line and they just become so unlikably pathetic that it's just not enjoyable to watch. You know, he stutters, or he can't talk to anybody. He stutters around everybody. He breaks out into a cold sweat whenever anyone tries to talk to him. He's enormously sexually repressed, and it's like, oh my god, this is just not fun to watch. I mean, I feel for you if you suffer from any or all of those problems. Lord knows I do. But it just doesn't make for a fun character in a fictional TV show, is what I'm saying. You gotta have some redeeming qualities. Like, maybe he has all these problems, but he's also just a genuinely sweet, good-hearted, nice person. Oh, we'll get to that. So, meanwhile, a girl comes flying through the air like she slipped on a banana peel on top of a ladder, or scaffolding. So he's sitting at his desk in the classroom. This is one of those schools where children just hang out. Like, they seem to go to school and just sit around in the classroom until they go home for the day. There doesn't seem to be any teachers. There don't seem to be any classes. There are classrooms, but they just seem to go and hang out. You know those anime schools. The ones where the kids just kind of seem to live. There's no teachers anywhere, no class. They just go there and hang out for the day. It's like, I don't know why. What, do their dead parents need them out of the house for some reason? Anyway, so he's sitting at his desk when suddenly a girl comes flying through the air and smacks her head on his desk and falls to the floor. What happened? No idea. I don't know. Maybe she just fell backwards and smacked her head on his desk, and the flying through the air was just exaggeration for humor. Okay. So she's like, oh, hey, Brad, whatever his name is. Because all these kids, and he knows her name too, so, good on him for at least paying attention when attendance is called in the classes that don't exist. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, she's apologizing to him for hitting his desk with her head? I don't know. Anyway, so she sees, like, an ink smudge on his forearm, and she's like, what's that? And, like, leans over. You get it? She's leaning over so you can see down her shirt. And then the camera goes behind her. Because she's, like, bending over. Hey, wallet. That's making an impression on the back of my pants. And she's wearing like an insane, like Sailor Moon short skirt. So, you can see her buns hanging out. Because that's the priority of this show. These are school children. A little creepy. Anyway. So she's like, hey, what's the smear? And he's like, and he just shuts down because he's a putz. And so she goes and hangs out with her friend. And she tells a story how she was in like a salon the other day. And this guy hit on her by making fun of the little anime keychain thing she had clipped to her bag. And she told him to go jump in a lake. And she says, no, and she says, what was this guy even thinking? Like, his opening line was to insult something that I'm obviously passionate about? On what universe would that work? And Brad, whatever his name is, overhears this and he's like, huh, maybe she'd be okay with my Hina dolls. I mean, that's a great outlook on life. And yeah, I like the girl in this show. She seems like a nice person. Oh, and you get to see her buns peeking out from under her skirt as she walks away, too. That's important plot to character development. Look, buns are important. You can't sit without them. I've got buns, and I'm seated on them. This show, debut review, would be very difficult to do if I had no buns. How would I even sit here with no buns? I mean, are you guys okay, with just making the assumption that I have buns, right? I mean, I don't need to stick my buns in the camera like I actually just did like a minute ago, but that was for illustrative purposes. I'm reviewing anime. Very important stuff here. So, his ancient sewing machine at home breaks, so he goes to the, home economics room, and uses their sewing machine. Well, who walks in the room but Susan? And he's like, oh no. After, because he was like, yes, my delicious little Hina doll. Oh God, you're so sexy. I'm like, okay, man. Ew. And so she walks in. He's like, I wasn't gonna masturbate at my... Yes. He doesn't say that, but... so she comes in the sewing room. She's like, you can sew? And he's like, yeah. And she starts taking her clothes off. And she's about to take her shirt off, and she's like, blush, could you turn around? And he immediately turns around, so, good on you. I can't fault him for just kind of staring slack-jawed at some attractive woman who starts disrobing in front of him. I mean, I would stare too. If only in just... Actually, I'd probably run. That's actually probably what I would do. I'd probably run screaming. But anyway, what she's doing is she's taking off her clothes to put on her cosplay outfit to show him that she needs help with sewing. Okay, but no human being would do that. She'd, go to the bathroom or a locker room, or at least start out with, hey, I want to show you an outfit. Could you turn around while I change into it? Instead of... dropping her pant or skirt and then unbuttoning her blouse, and then being like, oh, could you turn around, please? I demand realism in my anime, Guldernit. So anyway, so she changes into her approximation of the black outfit on the poster here. And she's not very good at sewing. She did the best she could to make her favorite anime character's outfit. So what does Brad do? He says, oh my God, you suck at sewing. How can you be so miserable, so pathetic? How can anyone suck that bad at sewing? Oh my God, look at your stitch work. It's terrible. Oh my God, do you try to suck this hard? Do you make an effort to be this bad at sewing? I'm only exaggerating slightly. He goes on nearly a minute-long tirade about how absolute garbage her work is here. And at this point, I'm swearing at the screen, going dude, man, you big meanie, what is wrong with you? And also, I'm kind of surprised that this woman didn't tell him to go jump in the lake like she told the other guy who insulted her passions the other day. Like, but, we've got a story to tell here. So, that was incredibly mean. I mean, absurdly, just mean. What the hell is wrong with you, dude? This is, yeah, she sucks at sewing. Okay. But this is obviously something she's passionate about. I mean, you can be critical, but god damn, man. Jerk. Makes me want to punch your imaginary face because you're a cartoon and you don't exist. Jerk. Jerk! So, she asks if he'll help her make a cosplay outfit. And he says sure, and we get a good look at her underwear a couple of times, because gotta make sure she's got underwear cupping her buns, which she has. The show will not let you forget that she does indeed have buns. You can do sex comedy. That's fine. That can be funny. But this isn't it. This is not it. At least the first episode. I mean, like they miss the most obvious things that you could do if you're trying to do sexy fun, right? Again, with school children. Ugh. Why can't they be in college or something? I mean, these kids are all supposed to be like, I don't know how old they're supposed to be. I think they're all supposed to be like 16 or 17. I mean, they're supposed to be underage, and that's... Guys, this is kind of gross. I mean, I'm not particularly put off. I'm not angry or offended, because, it's a cartoon. So I don't really care, but it is just kind of gross. Especially since it appears to be not fun, not funny, but titillating. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it feels like the show is actually going for. It's trying to turn you on by like, yeah, look at her boobs, look at her buns, look at the sexy undies she's wearing. Yeah, and we're gonna have her in all kinds of sexy cosplay outfits. That's why you're gonna watch the show, isn't it? Isn't it, you dirty, dirty little monkey? No. I'm actually kind of inclined to give it one more episode just to see where it goes. Because, doll making and sewing, and I actually like watching people do creative things, even if it's not a creative thing that I'm into, like sewing. I've seen, like, I saw a video on the YouTubes half a year ago of someone making the Lady Demetress outfit from Resident Evil Village. I'm not huge into cosplay. I don't do it myself. I can appreciate cosplayers. But, I really enjoyed watching the video and how she figured out how to do the outfit and put it together. It was neat. So I think the show actually has potential. Oh, and what I was talking about before is, like, they're ignoring the obvious thing. Like, she puts on her black dress thing and is standing there, and he immediately, like, goes to the hem and is looking at it, and he's, like, right up on her crotch, like, staring at the hem. But, right past the hem is her high upper thigh. This is prime comedy, sex comedy funniness right here. We're like, oh, this stitch. Now, if we went along this hem, it's like, oh my god, I am so sorry. It's just like, he's got his face like right in my crotch here. And he's like, oh my god, my face is right in your crotch. There's some humor you can milk out of there. That's funny. It could be. And it's that kind of thing where they're like, they don't really appear to be going for character or story or highlighting a particular skill set, or it honestly just seems like an excuse to draw a busty anime character in sexy clothes. I'm going to make a prediction, which I may never actually confirm, because I'm feeling generous today. I'm having a good day. I'm thinking maybe I'll give it at least one more episode just to see if it's just sexy anime girl in sexy clothing. Hey, great. It's not for me. You got to do more than that for me, though. I am a man of discriminating tastes. You got to at least blow up someone's head, right? I mean, come on. The hell was I talking about? I'm going to guess, if this show goes in the direction I think it's going to go, they will not use body forms. They'll use her. And he'll be trying to, pin and mark a fabric using her in her naked or nigh-naked state as a body form. Oh, sexy, sexy shenanigans. I'm going to guess they don't get a body form. And he's going to have to oh my gosh, I have to measure her bust. Oh. That's my guess. I'll probably never figure that out. But, honestly, the thing that stuck out the most to me, really, was... It's a damn shame, because I think the show has potential. One, showing off craftsmanship in an area that we don't often see in anime. Sewing, cosplay outfits, things like that. It has some nice messaging from Susan, whatever her name is, with the whole, why would anyone try to... Why would your first idea be to insult my passions? I mean, where do you think you're going to get... Where's that going to get you, goofball? I mean, that's a nice point of view. I like that. The thing that stuck out the most to me is just how unbelievably mean he was for a solid minute when he saw her crap stitching. I mean, he was a step away from you should just throw yourself out the window, you useless person, you. But you do have buns.